Okay, we're starting to record right now, yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Okay,
Can we put the video on you?
yeah, I'm going to share my screen, so it's actually, you're going to be very small. Okay, all right. I'm going to minimize that too. Okay, so to start with today, Nancy and I are going to present Google stuff to you guys, okay? And so I'm going to kind of show you just basic beginner level of sharing of folders and documents. She's going to show a little bit more higher level, which is GClass folders and Google School. And then we're going to have you decide, which one are you? Are you more of a beginner who would like to practice the sharing of the basic stuff? Or are you more of an advanced person that's ready for a little bit more? Okay, so that's kind of where we're going to be. Is everybody cool with that? Good? Okay, so just to start with the basics, I'm in my Google Drive, and if I just go back to Google, for instance, I want to just point this out again too, that remember the 9 dots are your navigation in Google, all things Google. So if I want to go to my Drive or Mail or any of those things are right here. So I would want to go to Drive, which I'm already in. Let me move this out of the way here. And these handouts and things that we're going to talk to you about are in this folder called Technology Training, and specifically St. Lawrence Technology Training. All of you should have that in your Google Drive under Shared with Me. And while I'm talking and things, just double check to make sure it's there. If not, I will send it to you as well.
I'm not on.
On Google?
On the computer.
You're not on yet? Okay, just whenever you get up there.
Okay.
Are you having issues logging in? Or no,
It's
just slow?
slow.
Did you log in as yourselves? Yeah, it'll be slow as you log in as yourselves. If you log in that /user, it'll be faster. And really, if we're not going to use your documents pretty much today at all, so any of the other training sessions, you'll be fine with logging into anything with that /user. Yep, it's period, and then it's the slash above the enter button on the right-hand side, so it's a backslash, and then just the word user, USER, and press the enter button. That logs you in. There's no password. Okay? All right, so you should have, again, like I said, the St. Lawrence folder, and in there we have a couple things. I have the professional development document for the year that kind of describes what we're doing, and then I have some 3 links there. You'll be using these 3 throughout your training sessions as you rotate this afternoon. Okay? They were also emailed to you as well this morning, so either way you can get at those. Okay, so let's go right away over to creating a document. So if I'm in Drive, and remember I got there by clicking on my 9 dots, I can click Create. And actually I'm going to hop back out and just go back to Drive, and now I'm going to click Create. And I'm going to go down to Document. Notice that I can create lots of things here. Folder, document, presentation, spreadsheet, form, and drawing. So I'm going to click Document here. And when I go in to create a document, I like to go up right away and give it a name, because a lot of times I get called away from my desk and then I have like 15 things that are untitled. And so I like to give it a name right away so I know what I'm working on. Sounds like we're having fun. That's good. Okay, so I gave it a name, and then I can start typing on it right now. I can go up to share and still type after, and whoever I shared with will get the changes as well. So it's really kind of up to you when you want to start, when you want to share a document. It's basically up to you, because anything you type will be live for somebody else. So I'm going to go ahead and click the share button here and talk about the different share options. Notice right now that I have a link here that's blue. If I copy that link and paste it, then someone else could access it, as long as I change the permissions that they could see it, view it, edit it, whatever. And I'll talk about that in a second here. You notice that right now it says it's private, only I have access to it, but I can change it, which we'll do in a second. It's owned by me. You can change the owner of certain documents too, but right now it's owned by me, so I can make the changes. I can invite specific people, so if I click in here and I type in Liz's first name, for instance, notice that because I'm logged in with @students.kemper.org now, students and teachers show up. So if I type in Trent, for instance, spell it right. Ooh, Tyler's in there too. It's because of my thing. Let me type in Elizabeth. Just do Trent. There she is. Notice I have students and teachers can show up there too. So
that's really handy.
Yeah.
Class to put put in, you can do it pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. That's nice.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling my kids to share stuff with me, and my name comes up as, like, JM Benami at Kemper.org and students at Kemper.org. I told them just to use the Kemper one, but does it matter if they?
Yes, it does. They have to use the Kemper.org one. And if they have stuff like that that comes up where teachers are still in there with that at students.kemper.org, I did a webinar a while ago and sent that out of how they should go into contacts and change that. I didn't send it out to students, but I certainly could. But they can go into their contacts and delete any of those that are teachers that have the at students.kemper.org, because that will go nowhere.
Okay.
Correct? Quite
As far
possible.
as you know, it doesn't go anywhere, but if they happen to pick the wrong one, it's redirected.
Oh, it is redirected.
But we don't want to tell them,
We don't tell them that.
Okay.
because we want them on the behalf of the.
Yeah, at Kemper.org. That kids just got to use that. Teachers are at Kemper.org. Students are at students.kemper.org.
Okay.
Okay, good point. Notice that over here to the right, I can decide if they can edit this document, which means I can edit it, they can edit it. They can only leave a comment. So the comments are on the right-hand side. So maybe I want them to read something and leave a comment for me. Or I could have it just be that they can view it. Now, I use this one a lot, for instance, like if I want to send out a template and I want them to make a copy of it for themselves and then share it back with me, so I keep the original template, the view. So I'm just going to leave it as can't edit for right now. Notice I can send it via email and I can send them a message. And when I click send, I can also send a copy to myself, paste the item itself into the email, whatever. Then I can click send and then they would have it. I'm going to also go up here and look under this private can change. I'm going to click that change. And here are my options for that, for sharing. Now, the thing that's nice is this sharing is the same for a document. It's the same for a folder. It's the same for a presentation, spreadsheet, whatever. The sharing in Google is the same for all of the different branches it has. So if I make it public, for instance, I would make it public and it says right underneath here what it does. Anyone on the internet can find and access, no sign-in required. So if I click that, I send a link out to somebody, they don't even have to have a Google account, they can click on it and see it. That's nice for parents. If you want parents to see some of that, they may not even have a Google account. This way they can still get in and do this. I use this one with my family all the time because a lot of them don't have a Google account and it works really slick. The one I probably use the most is this one, anyone with the link. That means anyone who has the link can access, no sign-in required. That one's also a great one for parents. That way I can send specifically who I want it to. This one is public on the web. It's searchable, which means if you type in a Google search for it, that document could show up. This one says only people the Kemper system, people at the Kemper system with the link. Again, if anybody at Kemper does a search, that document will show up. This one is only for the people you send the link to. And then here's specific people too. And notice down here, it's saying too that we have this option here, can edit, view, or comment again. So if I want to say anyone with the link can edit this, in case I want to send it out to an email to any folks like outside of Kemper or just people in general, I like this one just because it's pretty universal. I mean, whoever you send it to is going to be able to open it and they're going to be able to edit it. Then I can click save. When I click save, that kind of changes this link. So I want to save, if I want to copy this link and paste it into an email, then I can. And then anyone that clicks on that link can go in and edit it. Okay, so that's the link I would share out. This is going to send an email directly to those specific people. And I can click send and done. There we are. I want to hop back in there for just 1 second and notice over here, let's say that I don't think I want Liz to be able to edit this after all. She gets kind of crazy. So I'm going to say she can only view it. So you can go and specifically change who can view, who can edit, who can comment. So that's really nice too. And then you click that and save the changes again. And anything now that I add to this Google Doc, they will have live time. So as soon as I type it, they'll see it. They'll see my cursor typing in there. I would see their cursor typing in there at the same time too.
And that's because they can edit it.
That's because they can edit it, correct.
If it was a view, then when you switched yours, would they still see it if it was only a view?
If it's only a view, I can see up here at the top next to comments who's viewing it. Like
Okay.
a little box will show up. Have you seen those colored boxes?
Yep.
And if they're logged into Google, it will tell me their name. If they're not logged into Google, it will just say anonymous.
Okay.
And it gives them like animals names after a while or something like that.
But they'll still see it.
But they'll still see it. Yeah, they can still see it live.
Okay.
Yep. Now I wanted to hop out here too, go back to my drive. And again, if you're in a document, you can click right here, the left-hand corner, to go back to drive. And to go back to drive, thank you. And sometimes when you go back to drive, there's new look to it. I know some people get confused by that, so you can click this instead to different kinds of views that you have. So you can have lists, you can have the documents, that kind of thing.
And can you make folders in that?
Yeah. Yep.
So when students send you stuff, you can put it all in one folder.
Right. I typically still like this old list, and so I usually click the Google back here because I like to see it this way. That's just a preference of mine. Now let's say that I want to create a folder like I did, for instance. Notice that this folder down here for the technology training, this purple one, notice that there's a guy on the folder. That means that I've shared that folder with somebody. Okay. Notice these do not have a guy on there, so I have not shared these with anybody. So let's create a folder that I'm going to share with somebody. So I'm going to create and click folder. And again, I give it a name. Just doing tests there for a second. Oops, I got a spreadsheet out of that one. My finger got a little crazy there. Let's try that again. Folder, and I'm going to do test SLC and click create. And it puts it right here in my list of folders. I'm in Drive specifically. And when I want to go ahead and share that, there's different ways you can do it. You can click the box in front of it, and up here comes a file folder and a delete, a trash. So you can do it that way. You can say that you want it to move into another folder. You can put folders within folders. Or you can go right here and say create a new folder if you want to put it in a new one that's not there. But to share it, you can also just right click on it right there and go to share. And then click share here. Now, when you share a folder, that means any document you move into this folder or any document you create within this folder will have the same sharing settings as the folder does. The folder is like an umbrella, and anything underneath the umbrella has the same sharing as the folder itself. So if I say that I'm going to change this and I want anyone, I want some specific people, let's say, that have this folder, for instance. I'm going to pick on you, Liz, again, just because I can. And I'm going to say she can edit it. That means that anything that I put in this folder, Liz will be able to edit. Any spreadsheet, any document, any folders within the folders, all of that kind of thing. I'm not going to send an email for this one. I'm just going to click OK.
I have kind of a specific question.
Yes.
I want to create a folder because my religion class shares their journals with me.
Right.
Okay. So when I go to create a folder, it puts it under my drive. It doesn't put it under shared with me. Does that make a difference?
Yeah. Shared with me is when people share something with you. It's not when you share with somebody else.
Okay. So if I go to can I put the stuff that they have shared with me in that folder?
Yeah, and Nancy's going to talk to you a little bit about GClass folders, and I think that's more of what the route that you want.
Okay.
Okay? Yep. So that's kind of how you share those folders, and everything underneath there has that sharing ability. Any questions on sharing? That's basic Google sharing. Does everybody kind of get that? If you can figure out that, as we went in here, if you can figure out this and understand this first thing here, if you can understand this, you've got it. I mean, truly, that's all the power that is sitting right there. And if you read the descriptions under each, it tells you exactly what you're getting. Just remember this view and edit thing. That's one thing I would recommend. Any questions on the basics of Google?
I do have one question.
Yes.
When I click create a folder, I get this thing, select folder to upload. But I just want a folder.
Okay, I'll take a
Make a
look.
new folder.
Make a new folder.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Nancy. I'm going to log out of my Google, I assume, right, Nancy?
Yeah.
And have you log in with yours, because I don't have any GClass stuff, and then we'll kind of go from there. And then we're supposed to end at 2:20, so you have 20 minutes yet.
Except we haven't logged on to the little course, so we have to do
We don't do that,
Oh,
remember?
that's right,
Lynette does.
okay, sorry. Okay, first I'm going to show you the classroom piece. Can you remember my password?
Well, that's to upload folder. That is to upload. That is to create. Yeah. Yeah. Nope. The line of yours to upload. Not like, am I in there too many times?
Apparently,
Too many things are
you
getting
sign
signed
out of all of,
Just remove me.
you apparently just didn't sign out of all the tabs.
Just close all the other tabs.
Yeah, because I'll get confused as to which one we're
Yeah,
doing here.
that one.
This one is yours.
Yep. Still mine.
Okay.
That's like yours, right?
So you are in Chrome. Okay. What happens is when you go to classroom.google.com, it gives you the opportunity to create a classroom like this. And when this is a class and this is a class. And when you do this procedure, and I'm not going to take you through how to do that unless you're interested in doing it, but when you do it in your Google Drive, under My Drive, it will create a folder called Classroom. When I go to that, I then have this folder for that set of kids and this folder for that set of kids. So when I click on that, this is an assignment folder that when the kids submit to me, all of the assignments for every student jumps into that folder, specific to that assignment. Okay, so what it looks like is, I can get there without this recording deal. So this is a 7th grade technology. And the front side, you have this one, which is you can use a calendar to give them an idea of what assignments are coming up. This is how you can get them to join this class code. And this is from a teacher's side. You can put in an announcement so that as soon as they come in, it's just a message that they need to know about. You're supposed to bring this to class or that type of thing. And here's an assignment that we can add. This is what the assignment looks like. This link shows up for them to click on. And for me, when I click on it, it tells me how many people are done, how many are not done. But when I click on the actual assignment, I can see the status. So they can put the file in there and not submit it to me. So it's there, but it's not ready to be graded. Or they can tell it to be ready for grading and it'll say done here. If it waits for a certain period of time, then it'll say, it gives me a message of something about not submitted or unsubmitted or something to indicate that they've let time pass and they haven't actually submitted it to me. It's not finished. Once they submit it, I become the owner. So they can't change it. And it's dated and everything. So they no longer, even in their folder, they no longer are owner of it. So that keeps from making changes or that type of thing. And it's all right here in terms of time and person and all that. I can email to them, I can create a folder, and I can download the assignment by just clicking on these types of things. And I'm still a newbie to this because they just released it just before school started. So I'm trying it with kids. Now the kids, looking at their screen, and I should have got a snapshot, when they click on this, it just gives them chance to upload and to submit, that type of thing. They don't get a lot of other information. And it creates in their drive, instead of classroom, it creates a folder that says 7 Tech and then this introduction. So it creates a folder for them. No, it just creates a 7 Tech. It doesn't create this assignment one. That one is just in mine. So the only way they can submit is through the classroom page. that make sense to you guys? It's like a web page basically that you can just collect everything. In terms of making an announcement or an assignment, you just simply click on the assignment, and then you can attach things, you can point to a Google Drive item, you can add a YouTube video, you can type the name here, you can make a description right here. It tells what time or what date it's due, and that would be on the calendar then. If you want a specific time of day, you can do that. And then you can assign it, and then it appears down like this one. So it's really easy to put in and do, and they see it instantly on theirs, on their end of things. This gives me the list of all the students, and I can email them just by clicking on it.
How did you find your students?
How did I what?
How did you get the students in there?
I invited them, and then they put this code in. So this gives them my stuff in terms of if they had to contact me. But you can change the class theme, and the invite, I would have to go back and look. I think it's on the front page of the course. Because here I can remove that. Oh, there's the invite right there. And then I just invite them.
When you invite them, does it send an email to them?
I can put it in, like I can invite them here using my contacts, or I can put them in manually.
And because we're on our Google thing, you can type in their name and their email will show up, or they'll show up automatically.
Or I can give them this link right here on the front page. And if I remember right, that's what I did, is I emailed them the link, and then they just clicked on it, and then we put in the code, and that dumped them into my class. Because I didn't want them to use contacts, and I didn't want them to enter every one of them myself. But that's kind of what we've played with so far. And then when you go over here, you have the ability to look at assignments, change classes. The other class looks about the same. And here's what an announcement looks like. And I can add comments, so it's just
So it's a website under Google, it's a new thing, Google Classroom, right? And then you can post assignments and collect assignments here.
by posting it here, it gives you a place for the kids to submit their work to you. And it keeps it organized, all students in one location for one assignment. So,
And once they submit, they can't copy off somebody else, because then you have ownership.
ownership, they can't do anything with it. Because
Can you have 2 teachers for one classroom?
I haven't tried that, but I would guess so. I would think that you could identify them. I would have to look a little bit because I didn't try that feature. So
I was thinking, because we teach like 7th grade,
Yeah.
so we would have the same assignment, so we can have.
the only concern I would have there is then all kids, would it be all their assignments would be in the same location. So like when I click here, all of your kids and her kids would fall in here. There's a difference here. Unsubmitted, not done, because we were just playing with this. That's why it's like that. But you would have, like if you have 20 and she has 20, all of them would be in this one place. So then you'd have to click through which ones are yours, and she'd have to click through which
Might be
one's
easier
hers.
if you did separate ones, maybe let each other know this is the assignment I'm doing. They could also add it up too, or something like that.
I mean, that'd be up to you guys too. And we have to look to see if there's a way to add 2 instructors. I would guess so, but I don't know that for a fact. Try that. Okay, along similar lines is GClass folders. And GClass folders is an app that you run, a script actually, that you run in a spreadsheet. And let me, that video recording keeps getting in the way. When you want to do it, there are instructions, right, like this, just by going to GClass folders. And it walks you through the whole process, and you create a spreadsheet, and then you run the script, and it actually then, the steps are all here, it will then create the folders. And what it looks like on my end of things after it's done is that right here is the folder I created. It then created for me this edit folder, which anything I put in there, it creates it for the kids too, the edit folder. They automatically have editing privileges. It's automatically shared with them. Anybody that has access to that folder can edit anything that's in there. So if we were doing a collaboration piece, it makes it quick and easy. We drag it in, it's done. And the kids can do the same. This one is also created this view for each of them, but they only have view privileges. So every student has the ability to look at something like a handout. I just dump it in there. And when I use that one, all of these they can see. Now, if I want them to have a template of something and then they make their own copy, then they can fill it in and then submit it back to me. So that's a quick way to give them that template because I just drag it in, it's done. And all of them have it. We didn't have to create individual folders. We didn't have to do any shares. None of that. It was all done by running GClass scripts. This folder here was created for me, and that's just for me. That's just my folder. So they don't have access to it. They don't see anything, and I use it for things to keep track of that I want to put in view or edit, my originals basically. And then this folder is the assignment folder. And again, it's created for me just by running the script. And it creates a folder for every student that is only shared with them and me. So it automatically does it in their stuff and my stuff. And so when they drag it in there, I'm the only one that can see it. And I think I have editing privileges if I remember right. So just by running this script, all of those things are done. So I don't have to manually create shares. And I don't have to change privileges and all of that kind of stuff. We did this last year with both 7th and 8th grade, and it was slick. It was easy because they have one class folder that all of this stuff is in, and then they know that this is an edit one, this is a view one, and this is their assignment one. And so they have quick and easy ways.
One of the things we suggested too that, because there's many times where you kind of want your students' email, that we suggested too that maybe at the beginning of the year, a teacher could almost create a form that has the student's first and last name and their email address that they would fill out. And that way it would dump all that into a spreadsheet for you so you can copy and paste and use that for different things too. We will show that throughout our trainings and stuff too, how to do a form.
Another thing I did was create a Google group, and the kids came up, which was time consuming, but they came up, typed in their own email address. Now with it being in the directory, we probably just, say two letters, pull it, and it's done. And by creating a group, then when I wanted to send something as a whole class, I just typed in the group email address and it sent to everybody. I didn't have to do all 21 of them every time I wanted to email. So that's another thing that we could think about. So I don't want to go into a lot of depth on all those things. We can experience going through it and set it up, that type of thing with your class list if that's something you're interested in. So we're to the point of deciding.
Yeah, what do you guys think you said? You think you're more beginner ready or maybe ready for some of this higher level stuff where we have like 5-7 minutes left where we could run through a script or something or GClass? We should show you how to set up either one.
Well, I tried to set up a GClass. It wouldn't let me go on as a teacher. It only let me go on as a student.
You ran the script and it wouldn't let you run it as
Well,
a
when I
script?
went to the classroom.google.com, and it says, do you want to set up an account? And then it's had a student teacher. It says, click what you are. I clicked on the teacher button, and it says, oops, you made a mistake. Then I clicked on the student button, and it let me in.
So that's Google Classroom.
Yeah, Google Classroom. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And that's what I said, classroom.google.com. So why did it set me up as a student and not a teacher?
It says you need something, apps for education or something.
We do.
We do.
Are you
You're logged in as,
Are you logged into Kemper.org and not a personal Gmail account?
Yeah, dinaFeder@kemper.org.
Okay.
I tried it too and
it kicked you out?
it just said error.
Is that something that maybe Bill has? to
Apps for
fill out?
education, you don't have that.
We do.
But when I
So you
clicked on
don't?
student, it let me in. So now I'm in, but I'm in as a student. So
So that doesn't work.
do I sign out now? I mean, I guess I don't know how to.
Here, which.
Okay, let me sign up.
It says get started using Classroom, I'm a teacher. You click on it and it says, oops, there was an error. And then there was something else, where did I read it? It says you need apps or
But then I clicked on student.
Oh, it says if you have to make sure you log into Google Apps for Education Campus.
They are.
And you log into your Google Drive too? No.
But I clicked
I
as
was,
a
maybe
student.
I wasn't,
No.
I was before.
Yeah, log in to
Maybe you're
Google
not,
right now.
maybe you have to be in Google first,
Try
and then go to
I
Google
am,
Classroom.
hence mine right here. I've got it up as my Google. But I'm in as a student. It wouldn't let me go in as a, so I.
So you have two tabs open, one that you log into your Google account.
Yeah, I'm on, yeah, you're right now.
So then I went to this one. Oh, no.
It's really slow.
I'm wondering if you're getting timed out, because it took me that whole time you were introducing, just to get into my Google.
Oh,
So I'm wondering if the wireless that was.
Yeah, mine is just. I can
well,
try.
no,
We could do it on the desktop.
I'm in as a student though. It's, I got to that page that says I'm a teacher, I'm a student. When I clicked I'm a student, it let me into here. It says welcome to classroom. But now I can't go backwards, so I can't tell I'm a teacher. No, I'm a student. So I probably messed it up, and I can't have a classroom.
You should be able to go in and delete your account too, as a student.
Oops, so let's go over
But do you want it listed, you mean, and have the view that it is where
I
they're
just want all of these in this folder. When I put them in this folder, like that, it still stays here, so then this is.
It
still
always
a
does,
mess.
yeah. That's why if you do the GClass folders like she's doing, they're not in 5 different places. They're just in the one place. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why, yeah, because Google, it doesn't delete from the original place.
So
It
all
copies.
things that are-
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
and plus you use GClass folders and you don't have to organize them.
Okay.
We're gonna have to on actually getting in, showing the GClass folders to look at more training. This is just sort of a dip your feet.
Yeah, and I
To
haven't
continue.
decided what will be usable and what won't here yet, so I gotta think about this.
Right.
I don't, I was.
We're just, that's why we're just trying to expose you today to what the possibilities are. And kind of think about it, and then either A, we'll continue it the next time, developing GClass folders or Google Classroom, whatever you like, or if you want it sooner, we can have a mini lesson too.
Right now,
See you.
I'm okay with this, you know what I mean, I have a bunch shared with me.
Right.
But I'm okay because I have this set it up so it comes up alphabetically or whatever, and it's not anything
And
that
if it's working
bothers
for you,
me.
then you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just giving you options if you want to try it. That's all we're doing.
Because you already have them all shared with them.
Sure.
So you're done.
Isn't that true, though, Nancy, like, Jenna was saying too, like, you know, she's moved the original to a folder, but it keeps in the other place, but if you do GClass folders, it's not listed in your Google Drive 5 different places, it's just in that folder, right?
Because they put it-
That would clean up your headache that you're mentioning.
Because I just remember.
Yeah.
That's why I went to that.
Because I had to share something with me, but now that's just all in the share with me along with everything else that's in the share with me. and I can't
Right.
handle it. and wait
And every
for-
time you have to keep moving them because they keep coming in.
Yeah.
That's why I did.
Okay, we're gonna need to switch to,
And then
type this up.
And I do want to learn how to do this two classroom. And I shared something with you, just so you know.
Okay. Like, I know we didn't really start our Moodle or whatever, but if we would do G-class folders or whatever, all this, would we still want to do a Moodle or which would we need to kind of pick one thing? and stick with
Well,
one
okay,
thing
the
first.
Moodle and the Google Classroom are web pages, ways to organize and submit assignments. The G class